This is actually a 2018. This is a Murray lawnmower customer brought in today. It's not running very good. Show you how we go about repairing things and something like this. He says it'll start and run and quit. So we're just going to go through and how I troubleshoot things, and we're going to fix this mower for this fella. Well, first of all, I'll show you how this thing runs here. As it is right now, I got to take and pump the primer on it a little bit, and it wants to die out just to give it a little more gas. So this probably picked up something in the gas. So we're going to go through and tear this apart and go through and clean this carburetor out and see if we can straighten this fella out here. Very first thing I'm going to do here on this one is I'm going to check the fuel on this first. You know, just in case, you know, price of gasoline these days, you know, people try to make stuff they'll try to get away with running stuff on water if we can. I get it. Gas is expensive. Unfortunately, the internal combustion engine does not run on water. Yeah. Fuel looks good. Don't see any water separation in it. So we'll go ahead and proceed with this. Whenever I'm working on something like this, I like to get me one of these magnetic dishes here. This is taking, put all my bolts and stuff in so they don't get lost. There was a fan of these darn covers they put on these Briggs Strattons right here. They're kind of a pain in the butt to get off when you want to get your bolts off. I just kind of cheat and do it like this. Don't need to take it off all the way off there. Save yourself some time. If I'm looking down here, you can just see all the grass and debris that's built up in here. You know, just look at all that. So, guy here, he's not really diligent on his maintenance here on this one. So these gas tanks just pop off like so. I just gotta get me a pair of pliers, go down there and get that fuel off. I'll be right back with you. I know there's a lot of y'all up there don't like these plastic carburetors, such as this one right here Briggs Stratton came out with, but yeah, they're not too awful terrible to work on. They're easy to clean. Just like anything else, you know, that just cheapens them up and go in plastic. And I'll give you a little tip out there, y'all. If you're mowing in an environment such as this where you see all this dirt and grass, you need to be more diligent on keeping your air filter clean. Or you're going to be having an issue such as this one right here does, not wanting to run. Alright, I got that backing plate off here for the carburetor. Oh yeah, you can even see the built body of that carburetor. I don't know if you can see it or not. You can just see the grass clippings inside there. No wonder why this thing don't want to run. Well, go ahead and pull this carburetor off. These plastic carburetors like so here. These are on your E-series Briggs engines. They just come off just like so. So we'll take this over to the bench and get this fella apart and get her clean. Now these Briggs E-series, all they do is you got two 9/32 screws to hold this float bowl on. I can go through these pretty quick, but I'll slow it down here just a tag, just so you can understand what was I doing here with this one. Then what you gotta do is you gotta get yourself a screwdriver and just kind of pop that up just a little bit so graciously. As you spill gas all over your fingers. Got your float, and this just taking snaps in there with your hinge pin. Let that fall off. And you got your main jet assembly all on this little filler right here. We got to pull this out. Just take your screwdriver and that pulls out like so. And this is a two-piece deal. Comes apart like so. Now, what we got to do is we got to clean this whole body. Well, you can just see all the dirt and crap just caked up down inside that. I don't know if you can see that or not. Get myself a light. Yeah. Hard to say. Well, you can see all that debris down inside there. That's what screwed this carburetor up. I believe this is the 550E series engine, to be exact on this, if you're wondering. So, well, now our next step is what we got to do is we're going to throw this in the ultrasonic cleaner and get her gurgling here and getting her cleaned up. It's a little basket that comes with that, and I just throw your fuel bowl, and yeah, I even throw the float in there too. Throw your jets in there and get her all cleaned up. And, oh, walk over and chuck this in. You got yourself one of these. These are a real handy tool to have here. You can get them really cheap on the world's second largest river right now. So I think they're around 60 bucks. Now as I got in there for solutions, just water and some simple green, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set it here, and I'll see you all in 18 minutes. And as what I got here is we just got some Dawn dish soap here and some hot water. We're just going to take and scrub that old nasty air filter up on there. And we'll take and re-oil this fellow when we're all said and done. Just get this thing so it looks a little cleaner. These filters are washable. And this fellow's real dirty here. All you got to do is just scrub it real good and give her a good rinse, and that guy's ready to go. Now we're going to take and put this carburetor back together. Now, wash everything all up. The ultrasonic cleaner does a really good job, as you can see on here. Now, even though I had this metering assembly in that, don't just, you can if you want to, but there's a slight chance that it's still not going to be clean. So what I do on this metering assembly is I take a set of torch cleaners like this, and you got 3 holes that run up and down this here. I just take and go through and take my torch tip cleaner and go through those metering holes just to make sure there's nothing in there. And it also, you got a metering assembly goes through here, and also you got one right here. So you can poke that out and make sure it's clean. And as well, got your pickup right here. You got to make sure that's cleaned out, because that will get plugged up. Then I just take a little carburetor cleaner and just kind of blast through there. Make sure, flows through those holes like it's supposed to. And then we put it together. As I'm just lightly hitting that carburetor cleaner, I can see it going through those holes nice and easy. So now we know that's clean. That's clean. And this just takes and pushes back together like so. Now, something I do is I I got a little bit of this silicone here. I know it says Ford on it, but it will still work just fine. This only goes in one way by the way. You can't get it wrong. This snaps in like so. Then we got our float, our needle. And this slides in there, drops down. Got our hinge pin. That slides in. And this will just snap down, just like that. Now, we just got to take and put our bowl on here. Again, take a little bit of silicone. Now I'll take and put a little bit around this rubber O-ring right here, just so it doesn't go back together dry. Just like so. Now, there is one way this goes on too. You got this metering valve that sticks up right here for your pickup. There's a cavity inside that float bowl that goes right where that's at. And we just take and slide this back down. Get it clocked just right so we can get our screws put back in there. And put our two retaining bolts in there. Now, don't over tighten these two screws right here, because remember, we're in plastic, so it's relatively easy to strip those threads out. That is, you're not careful. Alrighty. And of course we got our gasket that goes back on here. Just like so. Nice clean carburetor. Vroom vroom. Okay. So like I said, these E-Series carbs, they're not hard to do. So now we just got to go over and put her back on the engine. Alrighty. 18 minutes later, well, as you can see, this mower looks a little bit different. Now it's a lot cleaner. Well, obviously in that time frame we were working on this, we don't waste time sitting on Marketplace trying to figure out things we can buy when there's work to be done on this. Well, we're waiting for the carburetor to clean the ultrasonic cleaner. So we went through and we cleaned all this mower deck up here. We took the blade off, sharpened it and balanced it, and we got the air filter all soaking in some oil here. We'll wring out and put that back together. So let's go ahead and start putting this carburetor back on here. Well, see, now in my shop here, I got to be as efficient as I can be as possible, because as soon as I get one thing done and out the door, I got something coming in right behind it to work on. So efficiency and organization is key in my shop. Here, that just snaps on there like so. Now I'll go ahead and put our fuel tank back on. I took and while this thing was off, I took and I flushed all this out, made sure no grass and debris was inside here. Definitely don't want to go putting that back on if that stuff's in there, otherwise you're defeating the purpose cleaning the carburetor on one of these, and he's going to be doing it again. So you ain't got time to do it right the first time. You might want to better wait till you do. Come on now, there we go. Slides over there like so. Now, take and put on our backing plate here for our fuel primer, and just like so. Now, I'll give you another little tip here. See on your gas tank right here, you got a little vent that comes through down here in your air box. You're going to want to run your torch tip cleaner through there and make sure that's cleaned out. Otherwise, it's not going to pull fuel like it should. This little tip for y'all. Now we'll go ahead and get this pulled back on. Now when I put these screws on, I take and put the screws on to the carburetor first, right around that gasket, so that snugs that right up, because that's part of your vacuum for your primer on here. Because I've seen it before where people put the bolts in here that hold this plastic piece onto this frame that hold that on there, and when they go put the bolts in here for your plate to the carburetor itself, it doesn't tighten up like it should, and well, you have a little leak on your primer and it doesn't pump fuel like it should. Now, again, when you're putting these screws in, these plastic here on this carburetor, on these two screws as well, don't over tighten it, because you can strip them out, and then the carburetor is basically junk. See, now I got my air filter that was in there. I got to soak in this little bag here with oil. So now that's what I got to do, is I just got to take this out and wring it out. Get me my little pair of latex gloves here. That way, I just don't like to get oil on my hands when I'm doing this stuff. That way, when I'm all said and done, after I wring this out, all I do is walk over and throw the gloves away. Just take and wring that oil out of that. Actually, I'll throw this whole bag away, to be honest with you. Wring that all out good. Just like that. Nice fresh clean oil. And we'll put this fellow on here. All right, and snap this back on. Just like that. Now I'll go throw this away. Something else I'm going to do before I go putting this hood on is I'm going to pull a spark plug out of this and check it. Let's make sure that's good. Yeah. I think we're going to go ahead and replace that spark plug. I'm not liking that. It's a brand new spark plug in here. This is the Briggs Stratton name spark plug. Nothing special. Yes, I did check the gap on the spark plug. It's at 30 thousandths. Another thing I do to be efficient in my shop, whenever I buy a shipment of spark plugs, and I buy them in 24 packs, I'll go through and I'll check all of them, gap them as they need to be. That way when I need one, I just take and grab one, it's all set and go, and I save a little bit of time there. Yeah, that's the thing, when you do this kind of work, small engine repair, we're not getting rich, doing this kind of work, not like some people think. Maybe the name of the game is you got to be efficient as possible to make money. Go ahead and put our cover back down. There, just like so. Alrighty, now, next thing we're going to do, I'll give you another tip here. Now, I know a guy that worked in a shop this happened to. You got to watch people out there sometimes, because, there's some good customers out there, but man, there's just some customers out there, they got a chance to pull your pants down, they're going to do it. Knew a guy who worked in the shop, and anyway, a customer brought him a lawnmower in, and they brought it in, didn't have any oil in it, and didn't say anything to the shop about it. And well, people working on it, troubleshooting, they didn't think anything of it, and they go start this thing up, and didn't know it didn't have any oil in it. Well, they smoked the engine in it, and well, they ended up having to buy a new engine for this customer. Because their argument was, it was fine when it come there, so it blew up at the shop. And well, now you guys owe me a new engine. Now, it's just real nice of people to do that, People out there trying to make an honest living, and, well, people got to be that way. So always check your oil first. Yep, and this machine here is oil. It's full of oil. Smells all right. All right, well, next thing we got to do here is put some gasoline in this fill and fire her up and see how she runs. Always pick up your tools after working on something such as this, especially around a lawnmower. I also knew a guy that didn't do that and had a lawnmower like this working on it and rolled over a socket and kicked it up and chucked it out and hit another guy in the shop with it. And I'm sure that felt real good. Well, here goes. See how she starts up. Well, there we have it. Runs out pretty good. All right, everyone. Well, that's a wrap on this repair for this push mower. So as you can hear this mower, it runs out and runs good. So I can give the customer a call and he can come pick it up and he can get on mowing his lawn yet today. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate every one of you for checking out the channel here. And if you're new here for the first time, I just want to give you a friendly welcome. We have a playlist of different videos. We got some Will It Runs on some vintage garden tractors and some push mowers. We got some videos on farm-out tractors, Ford case. I'm sure you might find something in that playlist you're liking, and feel free to leave a like or a comment down below. If I could convince you to subscribe, that'd be excellent. Stay tuned. We got more cool content of different stuff like this and old Will It Runs coming to the channel. Until next time, we'll see you in our next video. Take care, everyone.